Guess who's got a new laptop? Which means no more overheating. No more overheating. And guess who else? Video. It's Molly. Molly. This is Molly Weasley. I've had her for about a month. She was a stray in Westminster. Yeah, I love you too. Molly, you're distracting me from making a video. Oh yeah, I love this. It's a much wider picture, which is a great thing since, let's face it, folks, I'm a very wide person, you know. So yeah, mommy's fat, but you don't care. You love me anyway. Oh, I know scientists are all like, oh, dog kisses are deadly. At least I'll die happy, right? So, yeah, new laptop, Star Wars shirt. No, I have not seen The Last Jedi yet. I plan to once the crowds kind of die down. You want to hold my hand? Is that it? Or you just want to lick the palm of my hand? You realize that tickles? I thought, I don't know about the mic on this yet. I tried to make a couple videos last night and they didn't sound so good, so I ended up deleting them. But there's some movies that I saw as a child that I really want to identify, and I want to see if anybody out in YouTube knows them, because I've tried IMDb, nobody knows the answer. In the regards to the horror movie, I have not only tried IMDb, I have tried Kinder Trauma, which is a horror movie themed blog, which mostly deals with, well, I say horror movie, there's other things in horror movies. It mostly deals with things that TV shows, commercials, and stuff that scared people as a child. I've tried Count Jackula and Horror Guru. They didn't know the answer. IMDb, the people were so rude on that one, because I know for a fact that the movie I'm trying to identify is not. It is definitely not. And now the screaming starts. And there was people who were just really, you're wrong. And now the screaming starts. And that movie, it's not that movie. Okay. So what? Are you going to give me more kisses? Can I please make my video? Maybe you'll make this video go viral, huh? So yeah, if you know any of these movies, drop the names and any links you might have to them down in the comments, or just tell me how cute my dog is, because she is adorable. So the first movie was, it was a made-for-TV movie made by a televangelist, which should tell you a lot right there. And I'm only starting with it because it is Christmas themed, and it's almost Christmas. It's December 21st as I'm making this video. So, and even though I believe in God, when it comes to a lot of things, I'm kind of, and let's be honest, if Jesus was around right now, as far as televangelists are concerned, it would be the whole money lenders in the temple situation all over again. For those of you who don't know that section in the Bible, Jesus sat down for 3 days and braided a whip, and then used that whip to chase out all the money lenders and other cheats and liars in the temple. The only difference is with the televangelist, Jesus is going to need a bigger whip. Let's be honest, when it comes to televangelists, according to the Bible, none of them are going to heaven. All right. So, but yeah, it was a televangelist thing. I even remember it might have been Trinity Broadcasting Network. It might have been another Christian, quote unquote, network. It's kind of hard to do air quotes when you're holding. Hello. Don't let me lose my train of thought. But it basically it was a Christmas Carol, but it was set in what would have then been modern times. And of course, instead of the theme of Scrooge turning from a a greedy old miser to a generous old man. It was Scrooge becomes a born-again Christian. And the only thing I really remember about it is near the end, Jacob Marley describes hell to Scrooge. And it's not the fire and brimstone, it's hell as it's actually described in the Bible, which is basically you're eternally alone in the darkness. You know that God is out there somewhere, but you cannot connect with God. It's just a constant longing to be with God, and you cannot, and you're alone forever in the darkness, self-aware of your own separation from everything. Next movie is what instilled my lifelong irrational fear of faceless statues. Clowns don't scare me. Mimes don't scare me. Even the ones that are supposed to be scary do not scare me, okay? But faceless statues, like those creepy willow tree things from Hallmark, those are the stuff of nightmares for me because of this movie. And it was not even a horror movie. It was something that you might have, nowadays you would see on Lifetime. I do not remember much of it. I just remember it was about a woman who carved wood. She carved statues out of wood, and she had this faceless Jesus statue that she carved. And I only remember a couple of scenes. I remember there was one where a little girl asked her why Jesus didn't have a face, and it was something about her not thinking of or dreaming up the perfect face for her yet, or for him yet. I said her because of this. Hi, Molly. You are distracting me from this video. You know that? So, and then the other scene I remember is something tragic happens. Maybe the little girl died, or somebody did something. And the wood carver, she got so upset and so angry with God because of this tragic thing, she chops up the faceless statue of Jesus. That's all I remember. I don't necessarily want to see this movie again, because to this day, I am terrified of faceless statues. I say terrified, they just really just creep me out. It's not a phobia or anything. I just don't want to be around them. But yeah, I want to suggest this movie to some various YouTube reviewers who review those types of movies. Just as, Now the third one, as I said, it's a horror movie, and I've already tried different avenues to try to find the title. This is one I definitely do want to see again. I remember a couple of scenes, and I remember the plot, or the basics of the plot. I do not remember any of the characters' names. I don't even remember what country it's set in. I want to say England. It might have even been France or Italy. It is not necessarily a Hammer movie, but is definitely Hammer in atmosphere. Okay, so it could have easily been a film company trying to copy Hammer. And it would have had to have been filmed in the 60s or 70s, because I saw it in the 80s, the early to mid 80s as a child. And my mom remembers seeing this movie too. She just doesn't remember the title. And the plot was this woman comes to a manor house. I can't remember if she was invited or if she inherited it, but she happens to look like the spitting image, practically the physical reincarnation of the wife of the former owner, or one of the former owners. And this wife did something really bad to this man. She either cheated on him or betrayed him in such a way that he died, or something. She did something that made him hate her. He hated her so much that even from beyond the grave, he wants revenge on her. And something happened to him. I want to say he fought in the Napoleonic Wars, and that's why I kind of want to say that it was set in England or France. But and he lost his hand. He lost his right hand from the wrist. From the wrist. And can I put you down, because I need to motion a lot, okay? I know you want to be up here, but I need you down. Okay. So yeah, His hand was lost from this point on. And that's one of the reasons I know for a fact it is not, definitely 100 billion% is not, and now the screaming starts. Because in that movie, he lost it from the elbow on down, and the reason he lost it was completely different. It was the wrist on down. And I remember she had long, dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. And that's another reason I've got to stress this, because people were telling me constantly, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I know I'm not wrong on this. It's definitely not, and now the screaming starts, because the woman in that was a blonde. She might have had brown eyes, but she was a blonde. I've seen the clips and parts of the movie itself. She is a blonde, okay? So in this movie, she is a brunette, and there's only this much of it was just the hand that was lost from the wrist on, from the wrist on, not from the elbow, from the wrist. So, of course, the ghost of the hand of the man who used to own it is tormenting her. And I remember there was a scene where she's walking along some stone flagstones or stone pathway of some sort, and she looks out onto the lawn, and there is the hand scurrying across the lawn like a spider, on its fingertips. It's running. Now, again, this is another reason why it's definitely not, and now the screaming starts, because in that, it crawls. It's this, and it crawls. I remember that scene clearly, and I remember a scene where she's either staring at a portrait of the wife or of the former owner of the hand. I want to say the former owner of the hand, because they made a big deal about the fact that in his portrait, he had his fake hand painted, and she's staring at it. She's looking into the eyes of the portrait, and the hand starts to form slowly out of nothing around her throat. And once it becomes physical, it's suddenly strangling her. And she grabs it and she flings it to the floor, and it sits there in the hallway. And it's basically, even though it doesn't have eyes, you can sense that it's staring malevolently at her. I mean, the atmosphere was just really, you could tell that it was staring at her. And then all of a sudden it turns around and scurries away like a spider. It runs on its fingertips. Maybe it ran towards her and she ran away, but I do know that she got away from the hand somehow. And I can vaguely remember the brown-haired hero of the movie carrying her when she passed out. Those are the only things I remember. I really want to see this movie again. Like I said, it is definitely not, and now the screaming starts, because nothing in that movie resembles the movie I remember at all. The heroine has a completely different hair color. The hand is on that one, it's from the elbow on down. It crawls instead of runs. The plot is completely different. Okay, please do not sit there saying you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. There's actually a lot of disembodied hand movies out there. It's definitely not The Beast with Five Fingers, because that movie's in black and white, and the one I remember is in color. Plus, the plot, again, is completely different. It's not The Hand with Michael Caine, because that one was made in the 80s, and the one I saw was in the 80s on network television, so it had to have been made in the 60s or the 70s. Plus, if I remember correctly, with the Michael Caine one, his character was alive. In this one, the former owner of the hand is dead. And yet it's only his hand that is tormenting this woman. And it's basically because she looks exactly like his evil dead wife. And that's the only one of the three that I really want to see again. So if you know any of these movies, drop the titles down in the comments. If you know any links about them, whether it's the IMDb page or even a website about these movies, drop it down in the comments. Word of warning, if you are going to make nasty comments, whether it's about my hair, my weight, my dog, the photos on my wall, and in case you're curious, Barry Manilow, The Rat Pack, Michael Crawford as the Phantom of the Opera, Gene Kelly, Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Glenn Miller, Brent Spiner. All right. Yes, that is a disco ball in the corner. But if you're going to make any nasty comments, whether it's about my looks my, what hair or weight, whether it's about the photos on my wall and my taste in music, what have you, your comment will be deleted and you will be banned from the channel. And I'm only saying this because I've had people come in, of course, and spam the channel. I have had somebody who didn't like something I said on another YouTube channel where I was joking about teaching a guy how to find a ripe watermelon. And he came into my one where I did the Star Wars theory about how history keeps repeating himself. And he's like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And it's like, dude, you're going to kind of internet stalk me over a watermelon? So yeah, I've had people come in, call me the R word, and of course lots of comments about my weight. Freedom of speech does not apply on my channel, especially if you are an immature putz who's going to come in and make fun of me. So yeah, your comments will be deleted and you will be banned from my channel. I'm not even going to bother reporting you to YouTube because I know YouTube does not do anything about harassment, despite what they claim. But I will delete your comment and ban you from the channel if you say anything nasty. If you want to say something, if you want to leave the titles of any of these movies, or if you want to discuss the fact that I find televangelists disgusting and completely unchristian, and whether you agree with me or you can constructively disagree with me, that's fine. You want to tell me how cute my dog is? Remember, adopt, don't shop. Okay, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of pets out there in shelters waiting for their forever home. Okay, there's cats, there's dogs, there's rabbits. I have seen goats and turtles at shelters. Adopt, don't shop. And get your pets spayed and neutered. For God's sake, get your pets spayed and neutered. So yeah, nice comments, constructive comments, intelligent comments will be left. Nasty comments by immature putzes who need to get a life will be deleted and they will be banned from my channel. And please help me find the names of these movies, especially that last one, because I really want to see that one again. Bye.